Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm your professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. And there on that website, if you were to go to the homepage and go ahead and sign up to be on my newsletter email list, each month I draw 3 people to get a free 20-minute astrology session with me. Now, I also have online classes and a mentorship program for one-on-one studying, so we do that over the internet as well. And I have 4 spaces left. So if you're interested in a private mentorship program for 6 months, let me know. All right, today I want to talk about February. So now that the advertising is over, okay? So with February, we have a few things going on. Of course, we know it as the month of love just because Valentine's is in here. Some of the things that are going on this month that are just general for everybody is the thing I want to focus on first off is on February 13th, between the 13th and the 15th. This is when Mercury is finally back to the position that it was in the zodiac belt on the day that it went retrograde back in January, on January 5th. So think back to January 5th, what was going on for you. That's when Mercury had moved into Aquarius. It stayed in that zodiac sign for just a few days and then retrograded back. Now on February 13th to the 15th, this is when Mercury's finally past that hump, finally over that area where he was retrograde for a long time. So we're going to have some movement. That Mercury in Aquarius is definitely high thinking, it can be high energy, but it can also be somebody where we get something into our head, we're going to really chew on it for a long time. Fixed air is what Aquarius is. Mercury is that thinking mind, so it is a air planet naturally. So when it is connected, when it is in that sign of Aquarius, we're going to be having some interest in any of the things that Aquarius rules. So, of course, astrology is one of them. That'll be on the top of my list, of course. Anything that's technologically, anything in that category, right? So, February 13th to the 15th, Mercury finally gets over that hump of where it was January 5th when it went retrograde. So that means we get to move through some stuff, okay? We get to start really moving into the Aquarian energy and that unique piece of communicating. And February 14th, of course, it's right in the middle of this. So what goes on February 14th? And this is energy that we're all going to play into. On February 14th, the moon's in the sign of Taurus. That's a great place for the moon to be on the 14th of February, because the moon in Taurus is all about, sensual tastes and sensual smells and anything that is just lovely and luscious and beautiful. Now it makes a sextile to, let me look at my notes, to Neptune, right, in the evening of February 13th. So Saturday night, February 13th, most people would probably be going out to dinner and doing their romantic-y things on Saturday night, the day before Valentine's. And this is true. And this is what we get when we have on Saturday night. If you want to go out and have this romantic, date and just have a nice time, it's going to be that. We have all of the things, all of the cards are in place for just a romantic evening, just in and of itself. Kind of put parentheses around it. And that's it. After that, though, we have no other aspects that are cooperating with this romantic piece. So if you're going out on a first date on this night, there's going to be way too much pressure. All right. If you feel like just having a one-time date with somebody, then this is what the energy of the night's about. That's perfect, especially for those of us out there who are single. Go out, have a date, that's cool. But just know there's no Saturn. The Saturn aspects of the day just do not support a long-term relationship. Now, if you're in a stable relationship and you're just going out for fun because that's what you do on Valentine's Day, then this won't affect you quite as much. But it will be a nice date night, especially for married people who have not had an opportunity to get out and play in a long time because of children. All right? So go out, have fun. Just know that Saturday night, if you're going out for Valentine's, even if you're not going out for Valentine's, if you're going out Saturday night, it's just a night to have fun, enjoy good food, good drink, good company, and just know it's a great memory that you're making. And that's what it will be. That will be it. Doesn't have to go any further than that. So it sounds like a great night to have fun and have a party. So I'm going to leave, that's the general piece. So now I'm going to get on to a little more specific things for each of the zodiac signs. So that's next. Hi Gemini. Okay, let's get right to it since you're still sticking with it after 5 minutes. It's good for you. I know how I am. All right, Venus and Pluto are conjunct on February 5th. Now, this can create intense personal drama. This will create a lot of passion and love. So intense personal drama, what does that mean? That's that Pluto aspect, just that Pluto just digging in deep and just trying to figure out what's really going on behind the surface. It's in Capricorn, so it's going to shake the foundation of anything that it's connecting with. Now, transiting Venus is coming to connect with it, and so it is going to be shaking things up a little bit. So some things are going to come loose that we're going to have to face. And this typically will be in a love relationship. This is in your solar 8th house, so it can even involve your sexual relationship with your partner. Or partners, however it works for you. So there's something going on in that department for you guys. Now, it's also the area of outside resources and finances and taxes. And so inheritances and death because of inheritance that go along with that, not our own. And so all of these things can be coming up when this conjunction happens in your solar 8th house on February 5th. All right? It can feel like a lot of responsibility is coming our way when something like this happens. We also have on February 5th another rather difficult aspect, and Mars is in Scorpio, so that's already intense. He's already digging into anything that he feels isn't quite right, digging into secrets, checking things out behind your back. He's doing all of these things. Now, he is in a quincunx aspect to Uranus and Aries. Hey, Mars also rules the sign of Aries. And with Uranus and Aries has been there for a while. It is the one thing that's just making us feel like we've got a little electric charge attached to our foot. We're always kind of moving. We're looking for a sense of freedom and independence. Mars, quincunx, Uranus is frustration because we're really not able to find that freedom right now with Mars connecting to Uranus the way it is because it wants to slow down and investigate. So these are two aspects that are going on the very same day. And we're going to feel both of these days before anyways, and we'll feel the after effects of them for days afterward. So this is very, very frustrating beginning part of February. Of course, unless you take that Venus and Pluto conjunction and just have mad passionate sex, and you won't remember anything else. All right, because that can happen with this aspect. Now, I'm going to move on, since I just embarrassed myself, to February 8th, and we have the new moon on February 8th at 19 degrees of Aquarius. Now, there is a separate video for that, so please go click on the eye icon that's above over in the corner, and you'll see one of the links that in the drop-down menu will have my lunar forecast, and you can get right there. It'll be up as soon as possible if it's not up there yet. So that goes on in your solar 9th house. So you're going to gather all the information from that video, but that new moon in Aquarius is all about setting new goals and new ideas and just hopes and dreams and what it is that you want to do. All right, how you want to move forward in life. This is a great opportunity to refresh your New Year's resolutions, okay? We do them on the new moon. It's not the calendar day, okay? So this is in your solar 9th house, so it is definitely about learning and expanding your awareness. So focus in on that with that new moon. Now, really nice aspect coming here now. Whew, finally we got a nice one. February 10th, right? That's a few days before Valentine's. Valentine's is on Sunday, the 14th. I already talked about that in the beginning, so go back and listen if you didn't hear it. But February 10th, Venus trines Jupiter, and that's nice because that's just bringing together. We feel harmonious, we feel happy. They're both in the earth sign, so we're very grounded and feeling very, very comfortable with ourselves, okay? So we're going to feel like we might want to take a relationship to another level, and we also might financially, something can settle down a little bit for us if something's been up in the air lately. All right, moving on. February 22nd is another lunar event. That would be the full moon, and it's in the sign of Virgo in your solar fourth house. Now, in the solar fourth house means that home and family and the karma that you carry with your family is being highlighted. So we'll have a little microscope focusing in on what's going on at home for you. All right, and that's what that full moon's about, in that fourth house. Again, that video will be up when it gets closer to the full moon. I am going to finish on February 28th, and on February 28th, the Sun and Neptune are conjunct in your solar 10th house. When they are conjunct in the solar 10th house, we cannot know what's going on at all, because of course, Neptune's been in that sector, so you're probably wondering where your career is going anyways, right? Nobody sees you right now, and you're having a hard time really getting your point across. Well, the Sun's going to go through there, and it's going to help engage a little bit of that, right? So we're going to still feel a little foggy, but the Sun does burn off the fog. And so with it at the top of the chart, which is where the Sun lives typically, doesn't live there, but that's where it's the brightest, it's noontime, you'll probably be able to work through this easier than other people, just because of the placement of it in the 10th house. So whatever's been unclear by the end of February could start to clear up for you. All right, so I pulled 3 cards too, and they are 3 very different cards. I haven't looked at them until now. I love to just channel it. So the first thing that, it doesn't matter which order they go in, because it's just a general message. The throat chakra card comes up. All right, and that's a number 5. The 5s have been up all night. And so the throat chakra card means let's speak our truth and be honest and open with our partners and our relationships, and speaking our truth. Temptation comes up. That's one of the major arcana in this deck. And that temptation card, when that comes up, that is, to me, that's what we're looking at with that Pluto effect, with that Venus conjunct Pluto. Maybe we're tempted to step out of our relationship and do whatever. And so if you're tempted, do what you want, but it shows us that temptation can be there for some of us. And then this card, which is, like I said, there's just definitely some seesaw effect going on here. Love begins. So this is an opportunity, whether you're tempted to step out with that one, or you want to begin a new relationship, or refresh or renew an older relationship, then the way we do it is through the heart chakra, no, through the throat chakra, really through the heart. But we still need to say how we feel. So let's work on those things together. All right? Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming through. Anyway, lots of classes, I have a mentorship program. You heard the spiel in the beginning. Please come to my website. Please be subscribed to this channel if you haven't yet. Share this channel with others. I'd like to share what I do with the world. So I appreciate what you do for me. And thank you. Lots of love. Namaste.